What's up, guys? I'm back finally with an update on that model kit, the Squad 51 model kit. And I got this right here in the mail, which is another conversion piece to the kit to make it look more authentic. And hopefully this right here will actually work. I'm hoping anyway. This is not exactly an unboxing. I'm just giving you guys an update. Well, okay. Yep, Squad 51 Paramedic conversion kit. Okay, so this thing does kind of weigh a lot, doesn't it? Put it there for the time being. Oh my gosh, this thing's a heck of a lot heavier than I thought it'd be. I don't know well, let's see what we got here. Okay, well, here's the parts, the railings and everything. Okay, that's right, and here's the chassis. This is solid cast resin. Wow, that is actually really beautiful. Really beautiful. This feels like hard ceramic. This is really beautifully done. This is solid cast resin. No wonder it's so dang heavy. Okay, I will probably have to... Eesh. Alright, I'm dealing with a heavy piece here. I mean, this thing probably weighs like a good pound or something. I'd say this thing probably like weighs a good pound. I mean, this is actually really heavy. It's solid. It's... Okay, here's the difference. This is the comparison. I'll keep the sticker, though. I'll keep the sticker, though. Let me first cut off the... Watch me cut myself. That'll be awesome. Sticker for that. Okay. Now let me cut this right here off. It's actually pretty cool. I like that. Alright. Now I'm going to show you guys the difference between the two kits that I bought. And let you guys like judge for yourself which ones. Actually, I can use probably some of these right here too. So I'll just put these over, fold these up. Some of this right here I can actually use. Un momento, let me fold some of these right here up. Well, okay, the larger pieces I can still use. These smaller pieces are just sort of total beyond recognition. Okay, this piece I can use. This piece is kind of use that one. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna use this right here actually for packing. Okay, now this right here was the other kit. Okay, now first of all, this is the kit that I'm dealing with right. It's all good. It's all good. Just kind of drop this right here and put some more glue back on there. They're easy, which I will do here shortly. Anyway, my fault on that part. Okay. Anyway, this is the kit that I'm dealing with right here. As a placement thing to show you. This is the chassis that I'm dealing with here. This is a chassis that I'm dealing with. This is a long bed Dodge chassis that I purchased specifically for this. And this right here is going to be the placement of where the rear tires are going to go. I'm going to try to put them right here. Now it's going to sink. Now traditionally the tires would be about right here. But I'm going to have to try to fix them so that they'll be at the same angle. Now, this is what we're dealing with here in terms of the conversion kit. I will have to glue these right here back on, which shouldn't be a problem. Okay, this is what we're dealing with right here. This is how, traditionally, that Squad 51 for this kit is going to look. Right here. This is how it's going to look. Now, the bed right here is what I need. Now, if I can just rig the tires up to be about right here, that's what I need right there. But this right here is the way the truck is going to look. Okay? And it don't look that bad, actually, does it? Don't look that bad. But, now, let me show you the little situation. Now, this was the first fire truck body that I purchased. Now, this was the first fire truck body that I purchased, and this was the first body that I purchased, and it was designed to be used on the back of a fire truck. Now, obviously, it had a whole pumping apparatus right here on the front, which I cut off completely using a wood cutting saw, or a Dremel tool, and then I glued the whole thing together, painted it red, and this is the way that it's supposed to look. Now, this is the original. Okay, now here's the cab of the truck compared with this. Now, it don't look too bad, as you can see. It don't look that bad, but this is not the body that was used on Squad 51. I watched the show, I know. Okay, this is the first one that I got. This is the second one. Now, as you can see, it's a lot more authentic. It's got a solid front right here. It's also shaped correctly. Besides that, it's got the tires, or the headlights. Tail lights, reverse lights, and park lights, and license plate placement, all where they need to be. Now, a comparison, this right here is it. From the side, as you can see, this here is also smaller, as you can see, and it's also, you can see the rear end. And so, all in all, this one right here is a heck of a lot more authentic. And this right here is the way, let me just compare this because I'm really curious, that it's going to look. And it's going to look really good, actually. It'll definitely work on the long bed chassis. But this right here is the way that it's going to look whenever it's all complete. And like I said, this right here is how it's supposed to look. Now, to more accurately depict, now, besides the initial Squad 51 body right here, and see, I'm also wondering about the chassis here, because this one right here has a made-on chassis, and the original body here already has the tank and everything. What I may have to do, actually, is to get this to work, I may actually have to cut. I don't want to have to, but I may actually have to cut. I think it'll work. I might can actually just leave the tires. No, never mind. That won't work. Okay. I'm looking at it right now to see what I can do. This kit here has a made-on chassis, or this conversion kit has a made-on chassis, and I need it to go flat on this right here, so I may have to use that same tool and cut off these two side railings right here. These two, cut all this down right here completely smooth. I may have to do that in order to get it to work. It looks like, if I could just get it. And one other thing that I'm going to face is, because this thing weighs as much as it does, I'm going to definitely have to add some extra supports onto the axles on this right here, because this thing weighs so freaking much. I'm going to have to add some sort of supports to it so that it will not break the axles and warp the tires. And considering how much this thing weighs, that wouldn't really surprise me. So I'm going to have to try to work with that as much as I can. But the extra parts that come with it are what I need. It's got the rear. It's got the correct step placement. It's also got license plates, side lights, which goes underneath. It's also got the railings that goes on the side of it right here, as well as the air tanks. The only thing that this right here doesn't have is the placement for the toolkit, the toolbox, which goes right here, which I can easily get. But otherwise, this right here is the way that it looks, and like I said, I can make it work, but I will have to cut some of the aspects of it in order to actually make it work, but it will definitely work. But anyways, I hope you guys, like I said, this is going to, and I still don't have exactly all the parts ordered, so like I said, it's still going to take a little bit of time, but hopefully I'll be able to get all the parts I need in sometime soon. But hopefully I can finish this in maybe about another month or so. Hey guys, what's up? I'm back with a quick update on that model kit that I was working on. So far, this is what I've got so far. As you know, I ordered this other, I recorded this other video where I got this right here, this other utility body in, and this here is basically what it looks like right now. I've got it spray painted red and everything, so it's ready to go. The only issue that I ran into a pretty much larger issue than what I anticipated, and that was that the body itself, in order to make the body rest near the bottom even flat like this. Now Squad 51, the actual truck has a little bit of space between the bottom of between the top section of the utility body and the top of the cab. And so in order to replicate that, I would have to leave it pretty much setting exactly even like this. Well, here's the deal. Whenever putting the chassis in, after putting the interior in, the chassis here is going to set down a little bit further. Well, it's not a big deal, really. But the utility body already has a made-on, it features a made-on chassis. And setting it down on top of the chassis would make it set up too high. So the only option that I had, and I really did not want to have to do this, but I had no choice. I had to cut the chassis in half, and the other half is right. The other half of the chassis was right here. I had to cut half of the chassis off because setting the bed on top of this would be too. It would make it set up too high. So what I've got here, my plan, at least my attempt, is I'm going to finish the interior, the paint and everything, glue it in. I've already got the window glued in and ready to go. Then I'm going to glue the chassis onto the bottom of the cab. Once that's done, my option then will be to turn this up flat like this, and then glue the chassis on like this. This will be my plan. I will set it up like this with the interior inside and the chassis, and glue it onto this here, like that. And so that way that'll be nice and solid. And then all I'll have to do is focus on trying to get the rear axles and tires. Now, traditionally I could set them like this, and this would work. But considering how high the tires stand on this here, it won't look right. It will set down too far on the back. So I'm going to have to try to add something underneath the tires to make them come out to about here to actually even things up. So, and the good news is I've got another piece of resin here that came with the other fire truck body that I will not be using, and I'm going to try to cut it up and glue it onto the bottom. I'm going to, pardon me, cut it, glue it onto the bottom to add support like this, and glue it. Then I'm going to glue the bar. I'm going to glue on two sections one here and one over here, and then glue the bar going across right there. So hopefully that will work. But that's my plan right now, and I'm hoping that it'll work. I really don't have any other option. But like I said, this thing weighs a good like pound and a pound to a pound and a half. This will be the heaviest model kit that I have to date. This right here, I still cannot. This is like I mean, this is heavy stuff. I mean, this is really, really heavy, and I'm going to have to try to add some sort of supports underneath this, because as heavy as this is, this will cause any just plain plastic axles like is right here to just snap. These will just warp and break in no time. Once this right here sets down, they will just warp and snap into this weighs so much. So I'm going to have to add some extra support, maybe some springs, to actually add some sort of suspension onto it, so that way it'll actually have some sort of support. But hopefully I'll be able to glue everything on it once it's finished, and hopefully. But I've got some of the extra parts right here to go on it. The railings to go along the top. The air tanks right here. There's actually some rims that came with this right here, but these are not the rims I'm going to use. I've got the traditional Dodge stock rims right here. These actually will work. And I also compared these rims to the ones used on the show, and they look like exact. And the next thing is this rear stepping board right here, and I will glue that on once everything else is done. Plus there's additional lighting and everything. I will glue all of those on once this right here has the tires and everything glued on. I've also still got the front bumper, the other part of the truck, and the grill. I've got the grill here, and the other part of the truck here ready to go. So all I need now is the bumper. I need the cab lights, the light bar, the bumper, and the decals, and a toolbox to go right here, because there's a toolbox that sits right down here. And once I hopefully get all those will be all the parts that I need to finish the truck. So hopefully I'll be able to get it finished sometime soon.